Alright people, we've been making waves at work lately and it's getting pretty crazy.
Listen to this shit!
So where do we start?
Let's start at committees.
So for the interns at GE, they form committees to help plan events so that we do stuff and accomplish things.
Bonding and teaming aspect.
Yeah, so there's a social committee, professional development. I am the communications committee chair, which basically the only job that entails is releasing a weekly newsletter for the interns. And since that's my only job, I have no committee, so I have complete free reign to do whatever I want in this position.
Thus the name communications dictator.
Yeah, so I named myself, instead of communications chair, I'm the communications dictator. But that's irrelevant from the problems that we're having. With this newsletter, I wanted to make something entertaining as well as informational so that people would actually read it. So we decided to take the newsletter and make it like a satirical newsletter, kind of based off The Onion, and then chaos ensued. So first issue. We spend all week coming up with these articles, and they're funny. Trust me, they're funny.
They're really good. Put it in the doobly-doo. Can we do Can we put the articles in the doobly-doo?
Oh, the description?
Yeah.
We'll put the issues that we've released in the description so you can see them. But yeah, so we make the first issue and we
were super excited to release it. We print out, hard copies at work.
We did the whole thing up right, and it's a hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, first one was a hit.
All the interns liked it.
All the full-time people love it, and that was it for issue 1, right?
Yeah. It got passed around. You would see it at random people's desks. Everybody was reading it.
Yeah, it was taken off. So that just made us even more excited. So we started working on issue 2. We hit the ground running. We released it on Wednesday. And then Tuesday, I get a message from our HR leader. And it says, hey, do you have a minute to chat? Never something you want to hear from your HR leader. So I sit in a meeting with him. Basically, he said he loved the first issue too. He thought it was hilarious. He liked it. He liked it so much he wanted to show it off to his supervisor. But there was one article that was holding him back. Basically, GE puts a lot of effort into creating a teaming culture. Basically, everybody's not intimidated by each other.
So one of the things in orientation that they really brag about, there are two things, is everybody wears the same shirt. Everybody has a uniform. It's a black shirt. It has your name and a GE logo and an American or a Texas flag. And no one has parking spots.
Whoever gets there first gets
the spot.
You can park wherever you want.
Those are two things that they're really, really proud of. So in the article, we kind of poke fun at the fact that when executives come, they get parking spaces.
Yeah, there's cones in the prime parking right by the door.
And also, interns only get one shirt. We have to buy our own shirts for the rest of the week.
The article was just kind of poking fun at that, not saying anything bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty clearly a joke. So our HR leader, that's the article he didn't want to show to his supervisor because he didn't want anyone in the plant to feel like the teaming environment was less than perfect. I was like, okay, I got that. Stay away from potentially sensitive topics moving forward. Tone it down. Hear you loud and clear. But at this point, we had already written all the articles for the second issue anyway. So we didn't change anything.
The articles were already just toned down.
Yeah, these were less touchy, kind of more ridiculous, more obviously jokes.
In the first issue, I did insult 3 different former or future or present GE CEOs.
I thought that was the one that the HR guy was worried about.
Within the span of 2 articles.
But that one apparently was okay. I don't know. So that was Tuesday. Then Wednesday. Issue 2 comes out, and it starts getting even more circulation in the plant. More people are hearing about it, more people are seeing it. We printed off more copies, and they all got taken up.
Because now people know about it.
Yeah, people were looking forward to this. Yeah, so it was just circulating a lot more, kind of talk of the plant, and then nothing big happened on Wednesday. Then Thursday, the committee chairs all have meetings, the intern ones and the full-time ones. The full-timers have committees too. It's like a meeting of all the committee chairs. So I went to that meeting, and before I could even say anything about my newsletter, somebody else there started talking about it. They said, oh yeah, Bryan made this awesome newsletter. It's circulating around the plant. We're talking to people at other locations because this is like a web conference type of thing. So she's telling people at other plants, yeah, Bryan made this newsletter. It's really cool. It's the talk of the plant. It's circulating around. Everyone loves it. Everyone thinks it's hilarious. And the thing that got me that she said was it's really been raising morale in the past couple weeks through these hard times, because there have been like a few layoffs and sales are low and everything, so everyone's kind of like on edge at work. She said this newsletter is raising morale and like raising people's spirits. And I was like, that's a lot to put on just a intern newsletter that I was just making a joke. Yeah. So I was feeling super cool about it. After that meeting, I went back to my desk and I had 2 emails. First email I open up and it's from an intern in Dayton.
1,000 miles away.
Yeah, 1,000 miles away, working for GE Aviation. So like a complete separate business.
Separate companies. GE Transportation and GE Aviation, separate companies. We don't do business with them at all.
Yeah, and she emailed me and said, "Hey, Bryan," she knows my name, "I saw your newsletter on Yammer," which is like the GE specific like social media thing. I saw your newsletter on Yammer and I loved it, thought it was hilarious, showed it to all the interns at Dayton. They all loved it. Can you please start sending us all the issues? And I was just like, what? I felt famous for a second. It was pretty cool. So I emailed her back and I was like, yeah, totally, I'll add you to the distribution list. This is cool. Open the second email. It's from our favorite HR guy. And this email was a lot more blunt. It basically just said, hey, don't want to go into details here, but you need to stop producing the Internews now.
In its current form, this needs to stop.
I want to talk face to face, set up a meeting with me, so we set up a meeting, and I bring Jason with me on this meeting, because now it's getting...
Now it's serious.
Now it's serious.
And we have to defend our honor.
I was really confused by this email too, because earlier in the day, he had stopped by my desk and picked up an issue and read it, and he was like, I like this one a lot better. All the articles are great, funny, nothing touchy. I'm gonna show it to my supervisor. He was pumped about it. Showing it to his supervisor was our downfall. He showed it to his supervisor, and we don't know whether she thought it was funny or not.
I don't know who she is.
I mean, you have to think it's funny. She pulled out the rules on us. She said, you can't use GE materials to produce a non-GE related project, and you can't distribute non-work related materials at work. Apparently my newsletter isn't work related, even though it's for a position that was assigned to me in work. But whatever, I'm not gonna get him on the technicalities. So we were asking him these questions about why it was this way or other things we could do, and he said he asked these questions to his supervisor also, which then prompted her to take it to the plant manager.
So this isn't just the plant manager. We had an old plant manager. The old plant manager got a new job somewhere else being a plant manager. His boss stepped down to be kind of a scab position for the old plant manager. So he's even higher up than a plant manager.
Because he manages, what, 3 plants?
Yeah.
Regional something. And that's who my newsletter went to, our newsletter.
This guy was our boss's 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 boss.
So our little newsletter worked its way up the chain pretty quick. Basically, this guy had the same opinions. It shouldn't be distributed at work. That worked its way back down the ladder to us, and that's where we were at. Since then, we have just been exploring options to continue it, because we can't stop now. It's having so much success. Basically, it's looking like if we want to keep doing it, it has to be outside of work. But also, since then, we've continued to get emails from other areas and businesses of them seeing the newsletter and wanting it. We got emails from the Cincinnati aviation branch. We already had Dayton, and then people in Boston now have also contacted us saying they want to be added to the distribution list. So it's spreading far and wide, whether GE likes it or not.
And that's just the people that we know of. The people that have messaged us and said, hey, we really like what you're doing here. This is pretty funny.
And we haven't done anything to like send it outside of our plant. This is people seeing it on Yammer and getting it from their friends and then messaging me and saying, hey, well, I love, like, this is hilarious.
Made a PDF. We sent it to all of the interns in Fort Worth.
From that,
1,000 miles away, Boston is 1,500, 2,000 miles
Yeah.
away.
It's pretty crazy. So now we're at Tuesday of the next week. Issue 3 drops tomorrow.
As you're watching it, the third issue will be in
Yeah.
the doobly-doo.
By the time I post this, the third issue will be done and in the description. So you got the first 3 issues of Internews you can hop in on, join the bandwagon. We'll just see where this goes. Stay tuned to find out if we get fired over an intern newsletter.
The dumbest way to get fired. Also probably the best.
Also would be legendary.
This has been your dictator and dictatee of Internews Weekly.
Bringing it to you live from Fort Worth.
Signing out.